Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Luke Reacts. Today we got what North Korea don't want you to see. Super users. Let's check it out.
Nation on the planet.
A glimpse inside this infamously secretive country.
I've created the most comprehensive map of North Korea available to the general public.
Okay.
A lot of this is information they would not like to be out in the public.
So why would you show your face with
I've
this?
centralized it into one place where you can learn anything, their ballistic missile bases, where all the tunnels are, where the palaces are.
The man who inherited the North
my
Korean
boy.
throne from his father and his
My boy. Don't sound pretty smart to me. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Let's be honest for a second. This nigga right here, right? He gonna get your ass.
grandfather before him.
The Kims rule over a police state that relies on heavy surveillance.
These are intelligent people that have managed to control a country for 3 generations. And they are ruthless.
Well, a U.S. official warns that North Korea could conduct another nuclear test at any time.
They don't care about human rights. They tend to be portrayed as caricatures, but they're not. You know, to have been able to hold on to power. And they're not going to let that go. Some guy in Florida just put that all out there for the public to see.
Of course you
I
from
don't
Florida.
imagine
All the
they
crazy
enjoy
niggas in America is dead ass in Florida. Like don't give a fuck. All of them niggas.
My name is
just- I
Jacob
don't know
Bogle,
why.
and I'm a North Korea analyst. I estimate that I've spent over 7,000 hours mapping and writing about my find.
Hey Siri. What's 7,000 divided by 24? This nigga got no life. This nigga spent 292 days.
I've always had an interest for maps, for
292
geography,
days.
and so when Google Earth came
That's
out,
crazy.
I started playing around on there, and I found that a number of other people had been marking places, especially military places in North Korea, but there were a lot of holes in the data. And so I thought I would take a summer to fill in the missing pieces and have a complete map of the country. It was not so simple, and it has taken a decade. 64,400 places that I've now mapped and verified.
That's wild.
I have a personal library with about 30,000 pages worth of material on every topic imaginable related to North Korea. This has nuclear sites, underground sites, archaeological sites. I think we do a disservice when
I just want to know, like, what's the purpose of gathering this information? Is it just for the public consumption? Is it for the U.S. military? Like, I understand this could have been a passion project, but like, what do you do with this like butt ton of information? You know, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
when we
I
hide
just
things
feel
behind
like
walls.
I just feel like I don't know. Actually, let me not say that. Let me just
Military
watch.
tensions on the Korean Peninsula have recently been boiling.
Successfully testing its first intercontinental ballistic missile capable of hitting the U.S.
This is exactly the kind of missile the U.S. knew the North Koreans were working on, but we never expected it to be launched this soon.
North Korea's nuclear program goes back pretty much to the beginning of the country.
U.S. intelligence sources indicated the North was trying to produce highly enriched uranium. It is a required ingredient in the most powerful, compact nuclear weapons.
In the town of Pyeongsan, they have one of these uranium
The
milling
world
plants.
fucked up when
And
humans started.
what they do is there's a
Like the minute we stop using like conventional methods to kill people, like the minute we really started getting into like automatic weapons, it was really clipped for like mankind. Like if we're being honest, because like the bombs and like the technology we have now of niggas being able to kill millions of people with a press of a button, we've gone a tad too far. Like I understand like innovation is important and shit like that, and like niggas, like we need to move forward as like a society, like technologically and all of those in every aspect rather. But like let's be honest for a second. Do we really need a button to kill millions of niggas? Or like do we really need like a gun that has like 100 rounds in that bitch that's automatic that I can like press the trigger and just like, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's like I get it, but I feel like it's just also to the detriment of humans because humans don't have like the the compassion a lot of the times to not use deadly force. So it's just like, I don't know the point of it really. Like, I feel like, but I don't know. It's just interesting. Like,
The
it's
coal
interesting.
mine,
Like,
coal
the
actually has uranium in it, and so they take the coal as the uranium ore and process it. In that process, they produce a lot of waste material, the leftover burnt coal, a lot of toxic chemicals.
So this is the Pyeongchang uranium mill, this is the factory, and this is where all the sludge and stuff gets dumped. Material is brought in through this pipeline, through this pipe that runs across the river. You see this splotch right here, this dark colored area. This is March 2019. We have it, and then we can see it spilling into the river itself right here.
It was picked up by South Korean media.
북한이 우라늄 폐기물을 강으로 유출시키고 있다는 아주 안 좋은 소식입니다. 미국의 한 전문가가 위성 사진을 분석했는데요. 예성강을 따라서 우리 연평도하고 강화도 근해까지 오염됐을 가능성을 제시하고 있습니다.
I started going back through the historic imagery and noticed that this isn't just, you know, bare dirt or something. This is a leak, and it's leaking directly into a river that provides water for agriculture and drinking water for thousands of people in North Korea, and then that flows into South Korean waters and eventually out into the Yellow Sea. In North Korea, the individual is not important. The group is important. So you can have terrible working conditions, you can have toxic material.
Is before he like finishes his point about like what you can have, I don't get Americans and like this like fascination or fixation with like trying to make the entire world America, in the sense of, in America the individual matters more than the country in a lot of senses. Like, more so, even, I'm not even gonna get too deep into it, but the individual matters more, and what the individual has matters way more, right? Which is cool. And it's also cool if like if there's a country where like the country matters more or the ruler matters more. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's also cool. I understand it could be like deemed as like a human's rights like breach, but A, there's so many countries around the world that's like human's rights are being breached that America doesn't do shit about. And B, more importantly, it ain't our goddamn business. Like, North Korea's mad far. Like, it's not our goddamn business. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. It's just it's fascinating.
Flowing into drinking water, and they don't really care.
So why do
North Korea's conventional military forces, the tanks, troops, and artillery are falling increasingly behind the capabilities of South Korea and the U.S. The North Soviet hardware is aging. Spare parts are becoming more difficult to secure.
They couldn't survive, they wouldn't win against a direct aerial combat. And so they've been taking small steps, but steps nonetheless, to increase survivability.
So this is Koksan Air Base. At the end of the runway, you have this nice little square right there.
Is that a bunker?
And in this case, it's just compacted sand. So 2014, it's not there. You can see jets lined up. Move forward in time, 2015, brand new, nice arrestor pad.
They've already installed arrestor pads at the end of runways. These are engineered materials that give way whenever an aircraft hits it, to slow the aircraft down, stop it, but to not damage the aircraft any further. So, you know, small things, but potentially important things in a conflict. North Korea was a creation of World War II. Japan had occupied the Korean Peninsula, and when the Allies defeated Japan, the Soviets and the Americans wanted to split territory, and so they drew just an arbitrary line across the Korean Peninsula and created a South Korea and a North Korea. A few years later, you had the Korean War, which is when North Korea tried to take over South Korea, and with their almost defeat, it became very important for them to classify just about everything. Even demographics are state secrets, so we don't have an accurate figure of the population of North Korea.
This family has kept a hold on this country for 70 years by propagating this myth that they are some kind of quasi-deities who have this divine right to rule.
North Korea's society is stratified. They have a class system despite technically not having a class system. And you do have this maybe 10, 15,000 people, top of the top elite. They almost all live in Pyongyang. Some of them live in mansions, others live in luxury apartments. But then you have the Kim family, who have a dozen or so mansions spread out throughout the country.
In this particular building right here, this is Kim Jong-un's personal, this is where he actually lives. These two pyramids are actually, one is a dining hall and then one has a swimming pool inside.
That's just your eating place and your pool? Nah, that's crazy. That's
a pretty unique feature.
One thing that you can tell using satellite imagery about what's going on with the elite is when something gets built or when something gets demolished.
Dictator Kim Jong-un has executed 70 officials since coming to power in late 2011.
This is what Kim Jong-un is showing the people within North Korea. This is what he is telling to the elite.
These are the dimensions that were demolished.
If you a
Early
dictator,
2011, they're still there.
You gotta show niggas you will dictate. You feel what I'm saying?
Coincides with
Like, you gotta show
purges
niggas
of top officials. Some were executed, some were sent to prison camps. I mean, North Korea is a country of 26 million people. They live their daily lives there. They're happy, they're sad, they get married, they die. They want a better life for their children. There have been a number of North Korean state-sponsored agents that have tried about half a dozen times to hack into my systems to get emails, database.
Well, duh, nigga. Like, what the fuck? You was my boy. You are literally mapping out a country that wants to be isolationist in a way. The fuck you a country that wants to be isolationist that don't fuck with your country. The fuck you think they're gonna do? Not try to get this shit away from you, my boy? Like, in all honesty, again, I'm still trying to understand, why do you even have this information? Like, I understand it could have been interesting, but even if you find it interesting, why are you publishing said information? Like, what is the point of it? Like, I don't understand the point. Really, like, you can, like, all of the information that you, or the facts rather, that you've given about North Korea and the Un family, and just how, like, evil the people could be in a lot of people's eyes, right? Cool. The information about how the geography of North Korea is has nothing to do with that. It doesn't. The only thing that I could see backs that information would be like the leaking, would be like the leaking, the waste into the water. And if that's like the only thing, but you don't have to leak their entire country's geography to tell niggas that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't see the
people
point.
are going to want to try to stop you.
I just don't see the point.
It's just, it is part of the job, and you just have to deal with it.
Do you work for the military?
North Korea, there's always something new going on, and I think this is a project that's going to go on for a number of years to come.
Okay. Well, I did learn about North Korea, and they don't want niggas to see that. I can understand why though. Like, if I was a country, if I was an isolationist, so if I was a dictator, you feel me? And this country's fucking minding my business. It's like, my boy, mind your fucking business. It could just be because I'm from New York and everyone mind their business in this city. So like, the idea of not minding your business is stupid to me. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys like my reaction, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'm gonna catch y'all on my next reaction. Peace out.